It's 11 o'clock at night and I stopped building my third scooter for today. I'm working on it for about 8 or 9 hours today, and I just want to talk to you about a little bit about time and what you have to do to build a scooter like this one, and about the problems, and I just want to tell you some things about it, because every day I ride, especially in Belgium or so, people go and shout to me and say, stop, 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 what is it, what is it, I want to buy it. And that was the beginning of the idea of creating a scooter for people like you, or for people who are interested in ultimate hardcore electric scooter with a lot of suspension travel, indestructible and everything you want. Yes, there was an idea in my head to bring this scooter and all the other bikes I built the last 10 years into small serial amounts of 10 or 15 or 20 bikes, so that the people can buy it. And the scooter is the first project of selling a few of those bikes, but I found out that it's not easy. To build a scooter like that, today I need about 40 hours. 40 hours for the frame, for redesign the electric, the way of all the electric. You have to cut a lot of this, and you have to shorten it to fit it easily into the frame, and there are it's a little bit of work. Also, this parts, it's cheap Chinese watt meters. I opened it, I checked everything is okay, I tested it. When you want to ride, when you're riding in the forest and you got 100 amperes on such thing, you don't want to get it blow up, and you don't want to push your bike with your hands through the forest. So everything must be perfect, everything must be great and work absolutely perfect. So it has to be checked. That needs time. That's also parts like the screws. This is the shortest screw I can buy for this one, for this part here, and you have to shorten it, because you can destroy the battery pack. The battery pack is going up to here, but if the battery pack starts to get off during a jump, or when you got a really hard crash, or you forget to put the inner plate in it, which keeps the battery pack down, there you can puncture it. So you have to shorten the screws up to 4 millimeters. That's all the small things who need time. And for example, this one. I go to a company and I said, okay, I want to make. Can you make me this? It's not made by me, but it's also made by hand. And this is the last edition, and you feel it's great. You feel it's going down, and there is no movement. I told the company there only a tenth or a 500th of a millimeter. You must be 100 millimeters here. And the first editions, they are you feel it a little bit. It's not okay. So they made 3 or 4 or 5 pieces, I don't know. And after that, they told me, okay, one piece is about 20 euro. Okay, this 20 euro, a small piece of metal. It's a bit crazy, but okay. So that's the price of price of the best, and it really looks nice. And this is one thing. So you have to make a lot of parts by your hands. You have seen it in the video, the gap. I go to a company and I told them, okay, can you cut me this design with your laser? Yes, no problem. How much? 100 pieces? 50 pieces minimum? So, it costs a lot of amount. I spent about 19,000 euro in this project. In new machines, in parts, in controllers, here in suspension and in time, and in a special room I just rented for building those scooters. And when you want to build up 100 scooters, it's no problem. I go to a company and I said, can you design me a controller? And normally the controller is 2,000 euro. It's one of the best controller companies in Germany. And they said, oh, you are a manufacturer. That's no problem. When you buy 1,000 of it, it just, we talk about 200 euro for controller. Made in Germany, one of the best. It got 15,000 watt in a size like this. It's crazy, and they are the best. And only one, designing one, is 2,000 euro, only the controller. So okay, it's the gap between serial manufacturing and handmade. It's now today it's too big. You have to put a lot of money to get 100 frames ready and 100 suspension systems and 100 motors and so on. So I tried, okay, it must be going in another way, and I start to build it by my hand. And yes, when you build it by your hand, when you are experienced and when you know what you do, you need about 40 hours. From soldering the swing arms to making here all the cuts and making all the electric, checking the bearing systems, cutting the motor. You need time. You have to paint it. Here, abschleifen, I don't know the English word. It's about 5 hours of work up to now to make it. When you look into the sun and when you see your own face in the painting. So you have to put the first layer, then you have to put the color, you have to polish it, then you have to put the next color on it. So when you have a scooter, you want to see your own smile in the painting. So it needs time. And I can also go to a company and say, okay, here's the 50 euro, go and make a normal paint like the powder coatings. It's stronger, but it's not nice. For me, it's like artwork, what I do here. I start to build up a concept. A concept where you can do a lot of things. It's CNC machined. These are the, let me call it master plates. It's 10 millimeters. I got also 12 millimeters version. And you can put it here in your frame. And then you can put here a 10mm axle or 12mm axle. And the next step, there will be a special plate for the brakes. When you put your axle down, the brake is going exactly the way of the axle. These are the bearing mounts. You have to press the bearing here. It's not, you cannot do it with your finger. And the bearing mount is coming here. And then I put a screw here and here, and 2 screws keep this plate in place. And then I go into the normal shop and buy the axles. I found out that the quality or the accuracy between the 12mm diameter is poor, it's rubbish. And when you put the bearing on it, you hear it, it's moving. So I have to go to the shop by myself and I have to check, is it really okay? Is there no space? When you got your swing arm into it, and when people go and move my scooter, you can feel that there is no movement, any millimeter. It's crazy. It's you must drive it. It's not like the rubbish, or not rubbish, the flowy scooters from other companies, but you cannot compare my scooter with, I think, with all the other parts on the market. So you have to invest time in finding the right axle. You have to cut it. You have all this sharp here. You can injure. So you have to, with the lace, you have to make it smooth. And yeah, that's the next step. If you see the scooter and said, okay, I can make it by myself, but I need the CNC machined steering block. Here is the steering block I designed. The company made it for me. It's CNC machined, and you can get it with M6 6mm holes or with 8mm. The strong version is 8mm. I got a lightweight version. It's a little bit smaller. It's a lightweight version. It's a tough version. You can buy, in the future you can buy these parts for me, but it's the base of creating scooters like that, or creating bikes or everything you want. You need a steering tube, so you have it. And you just buy a cheap piece of aluminium, 60mm, and then you need plates. Wow, what is so? You put the plate on it. You can design it by yourself. You can change the angle and everything you want. Normally that's the easy part. The difficult part is to really find the right angle between this angle and this. That's my own little secret. I don't tell you what is this, how much degrees. Is it? I've thought a lot about it, but I think it's for the optical way and for the behavior when you have to move your knees, it's everything okay, everything is alright with this geometry. You have to, when you want to ride the middle motor, it will not fit in the swing arm. You have to shorten it, or I shorten it for you. You have to cut this down. You have to cut a new mount for brackets like this, a smaller version. Not bracket, you know what I mean. And then you have to make this hole bigger. Then you have to put this away, you have to put a bigger hole into this material here, and then you have to, it comes out, you have to shorten it here. You can make from M6 to M8, make a stronger version for big impacts when you crash with a motor on a double, but I tested with M6 screws, it will keep in place. And yeah, so you have to shorten the cables and you have to make bigger cables on it. There's a lot of small things to do. And the cheapest thing is today to build a scooter with my hands. And because machine, maybe when I sold a few of them, I buy new machines, making it more the producing of those scooters faster, but I think not this year. This project is getting not too big. The amount of money is too much.